7 times a day, the echoes of monastic chants bounce off the walls at the new Clairvaux Abbey. These harmonic hymns are sung by Cistercian monks, a French Roman Catholic order dating back to the year AD 1098. The Cistercian way of life is strongly cenobitic, which means each monk searches for God individually. Brethren here don't hold services, they don't teach or do parish work. They just seek God and do work. And historically, work for these monks means making wine.
They were making wines that were regarded as the best in the world in the 12th and 13th century, reserved for kings and popes.
There's only about 15 Cistercian monasteries in the United States, and one of them is at the southeastern edge of Tehama County in the little railroad town of Vina, California.
And around the railroad, they saw that there were vines, so they named the town Vina.
Brother Luis Cortez says the vineyard's rich history predates him by more than a century. Some of the first vines were planted by California trailblazer Peter Lassen, and then later developed by former governor and railroad baron Leland Stanford.
He had 4,000 acres here at the Great Vina Ranch, and that was the largest vineyard in the entire world. So we have a very important role in the history of viticulture in the United States, you might say in the world.
Today, the vineyard is much smaller, but they still grow grapes fit for nobles.
So this here is our Tempranillo. This is the noble grape from Spain. And something that a lot of people don't know is that this grape, Tempranillo, made its American debut here at Vina during the Stanford era.
The Cistercian monks took over a small portion of the Vina property in 1955. Among the original group was Father Thomas Davis, who was a monk sent over from a monastery in Kentucky.
Each person believes that God has called him or her to this way of life.
At first, the monks grew prunes and milked cows, but Father Thomas eventually helped turn the property back into a vineyard.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong with a good glass of wine from the monastery.
Everyone loves a good glass of wine.
The monks pick and process the grapes, but winemaker Amy Sunseri brings out the taste, and her blends have won multiple awards.
Oh, yeah, it goes down very well.
Sure, the grapes that go into the award-winning wine do have a lot of historic significance, but nowhere near the historic significance of the 800-year-old hand-chiseled stones that make up the new Clairvaux Abbey. Each one was removed from a Gothic-style Cistercian monastery in Spain, only to end up in California after an odd turn of events.
William Randolph Hearst brought over parts of this monastery.
Originally, the stones were destined to be a part of media mogul Randolph Hearst's mansion in Wintun, California. He spent millions of dollars to deconstruct the monastery in Spain and then ship them to the U.S.
And due to various circumstances, especially the Depression, he was unable to follow through on his plans.
This is kind of the grand reveal. I like doing this part here.
The dismantled monastery sat in a San Francisco warehouse long after Hearst's death. Father Thomas spent more than 40 years petitioning to get the stones delivered to Vina, and then in 1994, they were.
This looks like a very confusing puzzle.
Exactly. You might say it's a mix of 4 different buildings. Originally, there were 10,000 stones that William Randolph Hearst purchased and had shipped over to the United States.
Reconstructing the monastery became Father Thomas's life work. With nothing more than some old pictures and a lot of prayers, he and a staff of builders pieced together one of the 4 buildings.
Over 25 years to complete one of the buildings. We're going to rest a little bit.
Today, that building is enjoyed by the monks and anyone who wants to attend any one of the 7 daily prayers.
Has perfect acoustics. Excellent.
From the vineyards of the new Clairvaux Abbey, I'm John Bartell. Hope to see you on the Backroads.